manager for your project.
Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
I'm Mike Delisio. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome to Crowdsurfing, which is a show in which we talk about Kickstarter and crowdfunding projects that are ending in the next 7 to 10 days. So if it was, let's say, posted on a Hasbro crowdsurfing site and isn't ending for 44 days, we're not talking about that today.
Seems real specific and targeted, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Not Target, Hasbro. Don't get confused with your stores.
Okay.
Alrighty, but that is what we're talking about, folks. We just go through a variety of things. You're going to get our unfiltered, uninformed,
right, very
opinions on these, and you might find something interesting. We'll have to wait and see. And you might find something good. So let's get started in a segue I don't have a good thing for, and that is as we hunt for Bigfoot in finding Sasquatch. And I would like to start this off on a good note and say, nice artwork.
Squatchy.
Yeah.
I like the artwork as well. I find the cover is nostalgic.
Yeah.
That's a nice word. And the colors are rich.
Yeah. Would you say they're vibrant?
I like the theme of Sasquatch.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. This did make $10,000 for a first-time backer. That's pretty impressive.
You mean creator?
Creator,
First-time creator, yeah.
First-time creator, right. Yeah, it's his 8th backed game. This looks like a straight-up... Now, Take That might be strong, but it's like a Looney Labs game, if that makes sense.
I think that's insulting to the Looney Labs. But I understand the sentiment. This looks worse than Looney Labs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it just doesn't look like there's much
insulting
game
to Looney Labs. Looney Labs. No, this is worse than that.
All
this
right.
looks.
Okay, but I do think for a first-time creator, the graphic design is well done. The art is good. It's a good-looking project. It's just that it's good enough that we can also tell that we're not interested in the game. Just collect a bunch of cards and you get them. And the reason I said Looney Labs is this reminds me a bit of kind of the basic game of Flux, except it doesn't have all that crazy rule changes. Although maybe, because you can change the combo during the game.
Right.
Yeah, no, it has a good uniform look. Even it's a very simple project. There's not a lot of information on there, but it looks like it's, been well put together. It's just there doesn't seem like there's much game there. And again, I don't know that we're the target market, but I don't know that that's enough. I mean, even people that don't play a lot of games, they probably could do better than this.
All right, well, maybe they'll do better with our next one. Well, actually, it's not a game. Let's take a side trip here to the 2021 gaming calendar. This is the 8th gaming calendar by Scott King, and I have a few of these from back in the day. I think I have the first one, or had it. I don't think I need a 2015 calendar anymore. But Scott does some great picture taking. He is the background of our website, dicetower.com is his. I did find it interesting in this. He said you could get the pictures he chose or get your own. And I thought, depending on price, why would I ever pick the pre-made one? And when I looked at the pledges, I'm not alone thinking that.
Yeah.
So the base calendar, $26. To get the pictures of your choice is $36, and 164 people back that as opposed to 79. More than twice as many. It just makes sense, right?
Right.
Well, you get to also add in up to 4 custom entries to the calendar, custom holidays, or just birthday reminders, things like that. You can put in 4 of those above and beyond whatever's there already. I like that. This is neat. It's proven. It's got a proven track record. He's done a bunch of them, like you said. Photography is excellent. Yeah, this is a safe bet. If you want a gaming themed calendar hang up in your game room, something like that, here you go. I actually backed The one earlier this year, Tom, from the person that makes them using a bunch of like little meeples and game pieces.
The Mosaic.
The Mosaic one, yeah. I actually backed that one, or this would be tempting otherwise. But yeah, it's very nice.
Wow, there's a ton of different pictures, that's for sure.
Yeah,
right.
He said he had.
Perfect... Go ahead.
No, I forget what the number was, but yeah, he said he had 100 and some, or he had an insane amount.
Right. This is also a perfect use of Kickstarter. I mean, we've talked a lot about Kickstarters that don't need to be Kickstarters. This is really a great example of this is getting made because of this. Because otherwise, you're not, to be able to do the print runs in these numbers, you wouldn't be able to pull it off. So it looks good.
All right, now we're back to a game with no video, but still made 42,000 because you want this. Admirals War, World War II at Sea, reprint and expansion. And this is actually, the game itself is $74, the expansion cheaper, and it's a war game. Z's going to be reviewing this next week.
I'm still finishing play. I want to play more than I've played 3 times. I want to play some more. And then after that, I will be reviewing this. Yeah, it's... I'll give you a sneak peek so far, though. Not a fan.
Spoiler.
I'm kidding, folks. I have not played this, and I don't have any intention to. It's not my kind of game.
About the not a fan part.
Right.
This is, like Tom said, this knows its audience. That audience is clearly showing up for it. Fantastic. Another good usage of Kickstarter.
Well, what they say here in the Why Support Us on Kickstarter, they say no gimmicks, no exclusive items. But the main thing here is if you don't get it through Kickstarter, you ain't getting it. It's not going to stores.
That's exactly it.
That's it, yeah.
We're seeing more and more of that happen.
Yeah, it does seem like war games are becoming like a regular thing. We're seeing at least one war game on every one of these shows. So,
yeah. Speaking of war games, do you want a war game that costs $1? Now, I know you guys, before, come on now, hang on. Let me wait.
Okay.
This has 294 backers. That's actually pretty many.
So why isn't it making more than $290, or why is it making more than $294?
Because the game actually costs $5 if you get the other stuff. The base game is a digital copy and so only 13 people backed that. Everyone else backed the base game plus everything, which is actually $5 plus shipping. Now, let me ask you this about the name. Why is it similar to chess?
Because he suggests that you use chess figures instead of the little printout standees that you're supposed to stick on binder clips. In his little video, I think he's trying to be a little cheeky about it. It's like, okay, I can't come out and say use chess pieces, but you should use chess pieces.
Well, why can't you say use chess pieces? It's not like chess.
I don't know. There's a lot about this campaign I don't understand.
The name
I really don't get it. I'm sorry. I don't get it. I just don't.
This is a bad name.
It's really bad.
I guess I don't understand. I know that this is sort of one of those arguments I'm not going to win, but I don't get it. Why would you back this for $5? It's a crappy looking game. It's unproven. Whoever's backing this game has other war games. Right. They're not playing enough. And they don't have unlimited time.
Well, maybe they were brought in by the fact that it's the guy and his son making this.
And that's what makes this difficult.
I don't care. It just, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. You know what I mean? The person backing this and playing it is a war gamer. That means they're probably in their 60s. You better play the ones you've got. You're not going to be around for very much longer.
Oh my word! Let's get off this. These got too dark. So next week.
Let me try again. I'm sorry. I apologize. You're gonna die soon. Stop backing games for $5 that look bad.
All right. Here's another fairly inexpensive game, and that's Atma. This has 642 backers, and as an aside, we did this one on our channel. We played through it. Mike, and Roy played through a story. This is not necessarily in my wheelhouse of games I normally want to play.
Right.
Yeah, it's a role-playing game. It's not really a board game, but it does have all this stuff on cards. And me, Mike, and Roy were able to pull off a fairly cohesive story.
Yeah, somewhat. No thanks to me, but yeah, somewhat.
Yeah, so it is what it is. The best way I can describe this one is just go watch us playing it. I feel like that will show you how the game works. It's probably on here somewhere anyway.
It's really more of a story, of a series of storylines, wouldn't you say? It's not even really an RPG system as such. There is a little bit of a system there.
So let's say you bought an RPG book. It would have all this stuff in it. So instead of it being in the book, it's on these cards. And you learn a little bit of it as you flip cards over.
Yeah, it does make it, it's very free form. I mean, it felt like it was remarkably free form, more so than even something like D&D, which to me, it feels a little bit more structured, I guess, depending on the GM. But this was very much like, if you can think it, give it a shot, see what happens type of a thing. Find one of your stats that maybe applies to what you're trying to do. And then that was about it. You know, that's as far as like the system of the game. But, and again, I'm not a huge role player. Just like Tom, this isn't in my wheelhouse. But we were able to pull something off. And I mean, I do think that for a lot of people, it's going to be maybe a niche that they don't have to fill in their collection.
And if you're a fan of Wooshka, you gotta have it.
Gotta have it. Wooshka.
I really think they need to put that card in the game. All right.
Promo, baby.
Xmas PileUp.
Here we go.
Oh.
Okay.
Look, everything nasty I said about the $1 war game.
Uh-huh.
I like that more than this.
Yes.
This is my problem with this particular game. The idea of stacking meeples and of different shapes is an entertaining one. Animal Upon Animal is a very popular game, but Animal Upon Animal has custom-made, interesting meeples for that particular game.
Yes.
This game has a guy who found one of these one day and decided that he would get them in mass and make a game out of it. I could make the same game by just putting a bunch of dice stacker,
I don't think you should be using the word game. I'm being serious. I don't think this is a game. I really don't. You're what's the game? You're rolling a d6, either choosing to stack on yours or telling the other person to stack on theirs. I mean, you've got to try a little bit harder than that. I mean, really, you've got to give me a little more than that. That's just not a game.
I think that's the word I would use here is lazy.
Yeah,
this
really
is
lazy.
A lazy game, normally this wouldn't make my list, but it made $8,400.
This blew my mind. I kid you not. When I watched this video, I thought to myself, "Really? That's all it takes?" Right. I'm leaving money on the table, man.
Yeah.
If you know, because I'm pretty sure I can take an afternoon and improve on this.
I feel, I'm pretty sure I can improve on it in about 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
But that would include a match. All right.
I'm just saying, it's like, come on, $8,000. What is it? Does this guy have a really large family? What? Like, I don't understand what's going on. This looks terrible. I can't.
All right.
Let's keep going.
Right. Next one, Killer Rabbits 2.
This is crap as well.
Who letteth the hounds out?
I'm sorry. This one made the list.
Tom, you're just trolling us now. Now you're just trolling us.
Okay, can we mix these up a little bit, though, Tom?
Put them in
next
order.
time, can you
All right, folks. There are some really good Kickstarters coming, so stay tuned. This one made the list solely because it funded, so I picked games that fund, and I thought the "Who Letteth the Hounds Out" was a funny phrase.
Really?
Yeah. So this is basically, do you want to get pictures turned into dogs, miniature dogs? Okay, I can't even justify this one here.
Yeah, I don't get the aesthetic. I mean, there have been other similar things that I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of get that. Like there's this miniatures games called Burrows and Badgers that has kind of this similar-ish, but it's just so much better done. This to me, I don't get it. Maybe it's speaking to another whole audience, and apparently it's funding. There is an audience there, but I just don't get it. I don't see what the appeal is. I don't think that there's anything necessarily clever about it. I just don't get it.
Ooh, what else has this person done, Tom?
Oh, let's look. I'm afraid, actually. Well, let's see. Triumph of Death, Killer Rabbits, Triumph of Death 2, and Wooden Wars. It looks like they've all funded.
Yeah.
Wooden Wars.
Wooden Wars. It's basically...
Are there any Christmas tree meeples in this
You're
game?
going to make... This has a bunch of wooden figures, and you bounce super balls at them, trying to knock them over.
Okay. Wow. There's a story behind this.
This game was originally around in 1842. $24,000. Look, if it works, you're going to keep making it. All right, folks, hang on. We got some good games we're going to talk about, but we're going to take a break here so that Zeke can compose himself.
Woo.
Mark will be here, and we'll be back in just a bit.
This week's Spotlight is brought to you by Cryo North Studios. Lost to Time is an engaging, real-time board game that combines physical elements such as tiles, dice, and the game board itself with digital components on a unique app. In this collaborative and strategic experience, you and your team of up to 4 players are fighting to survive a deadly maze in a mysterious Mayan temple. Your team will get approximately 15 minutes to work together, build paths to find the 4 golden keys hidden in each corner of the temple. You will roll a set of dice to perform various actions around the temple, while also receiving digital inputs and prompts from the integrated in-game app. Your objective: bring all 4 golden keys back to the center console to unlock the unimaginable treasure. Please go check out the campaign, which is now live on Kickstarter.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Dice Tower Preview Recap. I'm Mark and this is Alita, and we have some games to look at today. We're going to be visiting John Carpenter's The Thing, and we're going to be visiting the Old West and visiting Cactus Town. We also might get lost to time, and hopefully we will save our world from the dreaded decay. All right, let's jump in and check it out. And first up we have Cactus Town.
Cactus Town is an asymmetric action programming game, a highly interactive game of fast-paced chase and escape. Sleepy little Cactus Town is about to see some major action. You can put yourself as the sheriff, or join a group of dangerous bandits, or seek ransom as a bounty hunter, or even use the power of seduction as an avenging can-can dancer. Each group has its own objectives and its own special actions. Are you ready for a duel? Will you plunder for gold, or are you in the mood to dance a can-can? Going to steal a horse, are you? A lot of things are going to happen in Cactus Town. Time to create your own cinematic Western story.
So you are visiting an Old West town. You're either the bandits, you're the sheriff, you're a can-can dancer, or perhaps you're a bounty hunter. But all these different characters have asymmetric powers, and it gets to be a bit of a brain burner as you try to program their movements throughout the game. Definitely worth checking out. It plays really fast and can get really chaotic at times. And next up we have The Thing, the board game, yes, based on the movie.
The Thing board game casts you into the classic cult film from 1982, directed by the master of movie making John Carpenter. The game focuses on the emulation and assimilation properties of the alien, hiding its identity under a veil of fake humanity. The alien's true objective is to escape from the base and spread across our planet. Success will not be easy, since all the humans in the game will try to prevent it. The behavior of the alien will be strongly influenced by how the game is progressing and how close the other players are to exposing its real identity. The Thing may choose to fully collaborate with the humans in order to escape along with them, or it may try to assimilate as many of them as possible to increase its chances of winning, or even to expose itself and fight them with cunning and brutal force. The road to victory is truly hard, but not impossible. Be careful though, the paranoia of not knowing who you really have on your side may cloud your decisions.
So, I'm a big fan of The Thing, this movie in general, and they really captured it in this game. You play the movie, And there's even the scene in the movie where they're saying, no, I'm not an alien, you're an alien. They're doing the whole social deduction thing in this game. It really works well, and you truly feel it. You feel like you're in the middle of that movie. And next we have SoulGivers. In the SoulGivers multiverse, two populations fight for the fragment. It is the remains of an ancient planet, as well as the only cure that can save them from a cosmic disease called decay. The clash between the two civilizations is harsh and desperate. The warring creatures can control the field, manipulate the elements, and bend the enemy's will. All of it for just one goal: carry the fragment to their own portal to rush back to their dying planet before anyone else does. So the goal of SoulGivers is to capture that fragment, which is located at the center of the board, and then deliver it to one of your two portals. Are you ready to save your world from extinction? So, this is an abstract game, and essentially it's capture the flag. You have to grab the crystal in the middle of the board, and it's definitely worth noting that the pieces and components of this game are super high end, even in this prototype. So beautiful. So many different powers of your different characters that you get to use, but you can, when characters die, you can grab their souls and add their powers and double up. It's pretty interesting. A lot of really neat gameplay here. And next we have Lost to Time. Lost to Time is an engaging real-time board game that combines physical elements such as tiles, dice, and the game board itself with digital components on a unique app. In this collaborative and strategic experience, you and your team of up to 4 players are fighting to survive a deadly maze in a mysterious Mayan temple. Your team will get approximately 15 minutes to work together, build paths to find the 4 golden keys hidden in each corner of the temple. You will roll a set of dice to perform various actions around the temple, while also receiving digital inputs and prompts from the integrated in-game app. Your objective? Bring all 4 keys back to the center console to unlock the unimaginable treasures within. So this is a real-time strategy game. Yes, playing in real time. Basically you have 10 to 15 minutes here to find all the keys in the temple and bring them back to the middle and escape. Now, there's all kinds of traps and interesting ways that you build out the pathways. And the app integration really works well with this game. So many possibilities and chaotic fun moments in this one. All right, so my pick of the week. So I really liked a lot of these games, to tell the truth. Lost to Time, wow, the real-time play in that is so fun. But John Carpenter's The Thing, this game, wow. You truly feel like you're immersed in the movie and you're desperately trying to find the aliens. They even have the flamethrowers in this game. So yeah, this one, hands down for me. Go check out The Thing, absolutely. All right, folks, if you want any more information about any of the games I mentioned here, please go check out our full preview. And if you want your game featured as a Dice Tower preview, please shoot me an email. All right, folks, until next time, we'll see you at the table.
All right, now we're talking about Christmas trees part 2.
Woo!
Actually, no. Okay, I promise you some better games in this grouping. First of all, we're starting with a game that's so good. This is the 6th time it's come out.
That's
War
right.
and Peace. Mark McLaughlin, a very well-renowned war game designer, has created a map so big that I'm having a hard time imagining this on a table, actually.
Wow.
I believe that I actually unboxed this game relatively recently.
Are you serious?
Must have been the 5th edition.
Yeah, no, I think it must have been the 5th edition, I guess, unless we got an early. I don't think so. I think it must have been, but yeah, the maps were massive. Like I couldn't zoom out enough. The amount of content in the box was staggering.
Yeah,
I gotta say, if I was a war gamer, this looks like it would be really my jam, right?
Yeah,
it looks cool. It's huge. It's grandiose. And again, if it's a 6th printing at this point, and you know it's got to be something of a popular game since everyone's still backing it.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it made $45,000. Yeah.
How much is it anyway? Oh, it's an update kit.
No, you could get both, I think, right?
So you can get the update kit, or you can get the whole game.
So that's probably what we have.
It may be. I don't know. We'd have to look.
We're putting in a Dice Tower library, folks. In case you're wondering what the review of it's probably not.
We're gonna put the update kit in the library, but people need to bring their 5th edition in if they want to play. Is that what you're saying?
No, I have the whatever edition it is.
Yeah.
All right.
I think anything past 4th edition, it really went downhill.
Correct.
All right. Next, we have Monsters on Board. Now, this one's doing extremely well.
Sweet baby, yes, artwork.
SoulGivers.
Glorious artwork.
Yes. The Miko, we're finally getting into something good.
So
this is a proper board game for peasants like myself.
I will say, though, when I was putting these games together, I thought, didn't we do this last week? But that was a different company.
Got a similar
remember?
feel to that Dracula game. Yeah, it does have a similar theme.
But this is Monsters on Board.
Sure.
This is from Final Frontier, which had this come out a year ago, I would have been like, nope. Because Final Frontiers has burned me a couple times, but their Coloma game is really cool.
Fantastic, yeah.
Also, this comes with a Fear Mobile.
4 Fear Mobiles, Tom, not 1. 4 Fear Mobiles.
Sorry. I want a Fear Mobile. I really like the dice in this game. They look cool. Even if on that Fear Mobile, they do look like they were under a press. Oh, no, they're fitting in it.
They fit in, yeah.
Oh, never mind. I'm back. Fear Mobile.
That's right. They travel.
I do love, like, I'm getting maybe a little tired of Miko's human artwork, maybe.
Sure.
But his monsters are amazing.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty excited about this one. I like the theme. I guess, this is something I didn't realize that I liked these kind of silly but this is kind of a comforting in a weird way feel to me. It kind of reminds me of my childhood. I get a nostalgia vibe from these silly monster, the Scooby-Doo feel. I like the dice drafting idea of it. I like the theme where you're trying to collect the fear juice or whatever they call it from people. You're having to go and scare spook juice. Yeah, you're having to go scare people and get the spook juice to go for your monster party. This one's kind of charming to me.
It's kind of gross if you think about the spook juice too long. But yes,
don't think honestly, about it. Like as soon as they said, I watched the video. As soon as they said spook juice, I was like, I'm in. I don't care what else happens.
That's all I need to hear.
I was on board with the Fear Mobile, but all right.
You had me at spook juice.
Yeah, there we go.
Whatever you might think of Final Frontiers games, their production's always pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to this one. When did they say this one's coming out? June.
June? Yeah.
Okay. All righty, that's 2. Can we make it 3? We can't. Rebellion. Nope. A social deduction party game.
We cannot. Let's pump the brakes on that good game thing here. Here we go.
Yeah, this looks quite derivative.
I like how 6 to 17 players. If you have 18 players,
you're
pick
out.
a different game. Please.
And it's 2 to 3 minutes per player. They must have done a lot of testing to make sure. Like, wait. It might be 4 minutes per player, guys. Set it up again. Remove 1 player.
I like this. 32 event cards make each turn different. Assassinate. Kill another player.
Kill another player. There you go. You're out.
That made that turn different. The graphic design, everything about this. This is the kind of game that I feel like maybe it's an interesting idea of a game. And there's some cool things here, but not how it looks. Yeah. It's derivative. This is the kind of game that I'm kind of glad is not succeeding.
How is this any different than the 30 or 40 other social deduction games that are exactly like this? I mean, what differentiates it other than it doesn't look as good? I just, there's too much of this. There's just too much of this. Is the market that big? Are there that many people that want to play slight variations on basically the exact same game? I don't know.
Maybe.
Now the concept
but the point is, this is underbaked. It's not attractive. There's just at the end of the day, you can continue to flood the market in whatever you're pursuing. We see it happen thousands of times. But your new offering, there needs to be an aspect of it that might make someone go, when coming up to choose up to the shelf, I will choose this one this time.
All right.
This loses 10 times out of 10.
Yeah. All right. Well, here, let's talk about a game that is unique looking. Cracker Games. One giant cracker, 6 brilliant games. So for those of you who are not from England, crackers. They're Christmas crackers. I'm sorry. They're festive table decorations. You pull them, and someone's going to get more of it than the other person. It's like a wishbone. And it makes a cracking sound when it pops open.
The actual thing itself is the cracker. It's not filled with crackers or anything like that.
No, it sometimes is filled with, I guess, candy or a gift or something. Yeah. I've seen these when we were in England. I actually was interested in this one first because of the theme, but I thought, they put a bunch of games in here, but they didn't look like garbage games. They looked like okay games.
Really?
No, they didn't look like amazing games. No. But they also didn't look like CH35S.
They don't look like throwaways. I mean, they do look like they actually have, some variation between them. At least they're trying different types of games,
I mean, don't get me wrong. This is better finalized than a lot of the other stuff we've seen. Yeah. They have artwork. They know what they're doing, right? I mean, they found a gimmick and they're running with it.
Mm-hmm. I also think
this might make a good gift, like a holiday gift, and I think that's what they're banking on. But the games don't look good, I was very confused about what this whole thing was, the whole cracker thing. Yeah. Because one bell they kept clanking was, this is reusable. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Right. So is every other board game, unless it's a legacy game. People better start using that now in their Kickstarters. Unique worker placement. 2 to 6 players, reusable. It's like, what?
It might be because with these crackers, do you destroy the packaging normally?
Yeah.
Well, you break it and eat it, I guess.
Yeah. I'm guessing with this one, you don't actually break it. You must just open it from the side.
You don't eat it.
Again, people in the comments, cracker games, these are actually called Christmas crackers in the English world, the England and Australia and such.
Explain it to us, Tom.
Anyhow, all right, let's continue on.
That's right.
Riftforce. Now, here's my thing. After I watched the trailer for Riftforce, I thought I would play that app.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it reusable?
Shut up. No, I would play this. This looks like they did all these special effects. When you play these cards, they did all these things, and I thought, that looks like some pretty cool special effects for a fun card game as an app.
Yeah.
I would actually be disappointed playing the actual card game because it doesn't look as exciting as that did.
It looks very simple. When I first saw this, I'm sorry I cut you off there.
No, go ahead.
When I first saw this, I was almost immediately disinterested because I was like, okay, this isn't my type of game. But the weird thing is, the more that I looked at it, the things that, Tom, you're probably turned off by were things that I was turned on by, not trying to be provocative there. In the sense that...
I'm glad you clarified that.
Can you stop hovering over the tentacle image while he says he's getting turned on? Move it along, Tom.
What I'm getting at here is that so many of these types of games tout that they're like asymmetrical. Like you choose this deck and it's totally different from that one. Okay, that's great. But then I feel like I have to read a huge rule book for each one of these. What this was cool to me was that I looked at each of those little things and I felt like I immediately knew how that deck worked. Now, does that mean I'm going to be able to play this 40 times? Probably not. But it looks like this type of game, I would much rather play this than something that's super complicated, that has, all different types of keywords and different things that might make it a more dynamic game, but it also makes it have a harder barrier to entry. So I was surprised at how much I was like, I might play this.
This looks to me like a juiced up battle line.
Right.
That's what I thought.
Right.
That's exactly what it looks like.
I looked at it and I thought, okay, cool, battle line, but with special powers, and then I moved along. It looks good. Yeah, I agree.
No, I would play this. I'm just saying that in the, even in this animated GIF that we're looking at,
GIF? You mean the GIF?
Come on, see, I don't need another 20,000 comments on this. I thought it looked interesting, like the special effects. Maybe there is an app that's coming out for this, but I don't know. It looks good.
Yeah, I thought it looked good. I like the art too.
All right, then we get Streets. This might be the most successful Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
This is a follow-up to Villagers.
Right.
Although it looks like a very different game.
It does.
Man, I gotta tell you, the graphic design of these city cards, I really like them. I really like how it's a colorful, almost like an app, like something you'd see as an app. Like the shoe store also looks like a shoe. I tend to like stuff like that. I like the art on the cards.
Yeah.
I like that this is a grid. You know how my guy's opinions on grids.
Right. Yeah, the aesthetic on this and Villagers both, I think, are really, really appealing to me on a personal level. And I did enjoy Villagers. This one looks like it's even more simple than Villagers wasn't a complicated game, but this one looks like it's a pretty simple game where you're just kind of putting these buildings out in your grid, and they're going to bring a certain color meeple, and then you're going to score those meeples when you close off streets. So yeah, no, I do like the look of it.
I agree. It looks good. I played Villagers. I thought it was okay. It's interesting. I like card game. I'll normally take a card game over a tile game. Everything else being equal. But yeah, this looks good. It's good.
I will say, there's no way I'm getting the normal version of this. No. The deluxe one. I also, if they make these wooden money tokens, if those are an add-on, I may buy like 10 of them.
You probably could. I think in Villagers they had the wooden. Did you get the wooden coins for Villagers?
Yeah, I did. But I like these wooden. You can use this in a lot of games. This is a paper money killer.
Right.
Get out of my face, paper money.
Ooh, that's an idea for a Kickstarter. Paper money killer.
Paper money killer.
Dude, you can just stack piles of paper money and
done.
You roll a die. That's $8,000 right here.
I'm just gonna get a bunch of like Christmas trees. The green ones, those represent $1. I'm gonna spray paint some red. Those are $5.
That's right.
Okay. We got a few contributors here, folks. We'll be back in a bit. We got a few more projects, and then what's our pick of the week? This was definitely a better segment. Here we go.
This week's Spotlight is brought to you by Peers. Inkas, The Legend is a strategy board game for 2 to 4 players that takes you back to a mystical time of spirits, monsters, and dragons, where you must battle gods and conquer nations for the chance to become the leader of a new empire. The game represents the war between the Inca and Chanca nations in their quest to be the first to find the magical spot where the city of Cusco must be founded. Whoever founds Cusco will have dominion over the 4 regions of the Inca Empire. In this game, players race for the center location of the board. Then they try to steal it from each other. Control of the center is needed to be able to conquer a province. Once conquered, its hidden card is revealed, all in an effort to locate the hidden city of Cusco. To win the game, you will need to be the first to find Cusco or defeat all the enemy warriors. The story of Inka is inspired by Inca and pre-Inca legends and myths, but many elements in the story and characters are the creation of the designer and publisher. The Inca Empire ruled over a large part of South America until the 16th century. A companion guide is being planned to explain which elements are historic and which aren't. Please go check out the campaign, which is now live on Kickstarter.
Hey folks, and welcome to FOMO, the segment. That's confusing. There's 3 games here. This is FOMO. We take a look at a game that's seeking crowdfunding right now, and that I have a fear of missing out on, and maybe you do too. But we don't normally look at 3 games, and I'm pretty sure not all of these are seeking crowdfunding. So what do we have here? We have Le Havre, classic game. Absolutely love it. It is building these buildings. We're in this port city. It is just an instant classic for me. We've got Imhotep, where we're going to be building monuments, putting the stones on the ships and moving them on, building them up. Okay, that's interesting, but I'm pretty sure neither of those is seeking crowdfunding. And we have Embarcadero, which I know is. Renegade is currently seeking crowdfunding. So the question is, why are these all 3 sitting on my table? Well, it's because Le Havre, as I said, instant classic. There is a classic game. Imhotep is quickly becoming a classic game for me. Embarcadero, to skip to the end of this, is already, to me, a classic game. This fits in with my classic game collection. I would happily put Embarcadero on the shelf next to Le Havre and have no problems with that placement. Because this feels like a familiar treat. It feels like a classic board game in the sense of a modern classic board game, but this is something fresh too. The theme on this, we're going to be building on the ships that were abandoned after the gold rush. There's some history here in that I was not familiar with Embarcadero. I've heard the word, but I didn't know about this district. I didn't know how after the gold rush, these ships were left out there abandoned and entrepreneurs literally built businesses on top of them. That's fascinating. And so let's just talk about what is Embarcadero as a game. And for me, this is a hand management game. I love that. This is a resource management game. This is a building game, a city building game, no less. This is just area influence. This scratches all of those classic itches for me. Now, before I go any further, I am going to say it's been addressed, and so I'm going to address it here. These buildings, as you're stacking them, I had some issues. My clumsy hands, that's a new word, clumsily hands knocked over these buildings quite a bit. I have been told by Renegade that they have made some improvements based on feedback on that, and the new buildings are going to be engineered in such a way that my clumsy hands hopefully will not be just knocking them over, ruining the game for everyone. On a player's turn, they're going to be doing simple things. You're going to have an action phase, you're going to have a buy phase. Action phase, I'm going to get to dock a ship. Dock a ship simply means to take one of those ships that I claimed and dock it. I can put it on a against a wharf, against my other ships, against the harbor, and I can build a structure on it. I can build buildings right on the backs of those ships as long as I've got the resources, and the resources are going to be gained from the ships that I've docked. So everything is a big circle here. You take what you find, and you take that, and you build something else. So I can build a building as long as I can pay it. I can scrap it too. I could scrap a building, I could scrap a ship and just gain valuable resources. So I'm just going to make one simple action. I'm going to take a card from my hand, whether it be a building or a ship, and I'm going to do something with it. Then I'm going to buy, and I need to buy either a ship or a building, and I have to pay for that. If I can't afford anything out there, now some of them cost nothing, but if it happens, then I've got to take a blind card and pay a penalty in victory points depending on how much it costs. Then what really I found interesting, and this immediately cemented this game for me, is now I take one of the cards in my hand, including the one that I took, and I place it down on my player board. And that's going to be seeding my hand for the next round. And there is something that I absolutely adore is when I'm in one round, having to plan out my next round just gets me going. That puzzle alone was enough to cement me loving this game. But so we're going to go through, everyone's going to get 5 turns, then we're going to do some scoring, and that's going to be based on this area control in some respects, because it's going to score a little different each round, and based on these bonus cards as well. We're going to be moving down the council, but we're just going to be building. And honestly, I love this. This is fantastic. Now, part of me wants to sit here and throw buildings at buildings because I'm destructive. But this game is fantastic. Now, the real question for me is this a FOMO? Because this is Renegade. This is going to come to, if this gets successfully funded, which I believe it is right now, this is going to come to retail. So sometimes, it's just so fun. Sometimes that's not a FOMO for me. I think to myself, well, I can get it later. Except this game has a Kickstarter exclusive expansion that introduces a 5th player, which is always important to me. If 5th player is an option, I want 5th player. But also the unsinkable ships. Now, they didn't give those to me in this one, but having looked at what they do, I need those in my life. So yes, this is a FOMO for me. Not so much for the core game. It is a FOMO in the aspect of I need this game in my collection. Absolutely. But I need that expansion in my collection. So this is an auto back for me. If you're a fan of classic style strategy games, but you want something with a little different theme, and the idea of city building on the water is definitely about as different as I get. It's like a flotilla attached to the harbor. This is a game you're going to want to check out. If you are familiar with the Embarcadero district, I'd like to hear about it and tell me stories about it. This is probably a game for you to check out too. I will say, until I see the final, how they're going to fix these components, if you are someone who has mobility issues, this might be a troublesome point for you, in which case this might be something you might want to wait until retail or later, just to make sure that you're not going to have issues with the tactile. I love the tactile nature, but I'm clumsy and I definitely knock these over a lot. I did also, though, enjoy building buildings on top of structures, on top of sunken ships. The sunken ships was really cool. So overall, good marks for me. I love it. An instant classic. Go back it if you can. And I'll see you folks next episode.
All right, well, next we have Stephen King's The Pet Cemetery.
No, you're going to get sued.
That's right.
Well, that's
legally
the thing.
distinct.
Why is this called The Pet Cemetery? He's got to know that movie is not like an unknown quantity.
No. Well, that's why it's named The Pet Cemetery. It's because that movie and book is not an unknown quantity.
Yeah, but then it has nothing to do with that. It's like a cutesy, weird thing that
it's an abstract game.
Like, why is there a gunslinger sheriff, a strongman who apparently just needs to take his shirt off and flex, a card shark? It's like random archetypes just showed up. Guy's like, hey, I'm a card shark here at the Pet Cemetery. Like, what? What does that even mean?
I don't
You're
know.
breaking this for me, Tom.
Yeah, you've lost the immersion. I was deeply immersed in this game before that.
Actually, what's funny to me is they show you what's in the box, and I start going down and I see all these characters, and I'm like, wasn't this game called Pet Cemetery? And then I finally get down here, and I'm like, oh, I guess that's the Pet Cemetery.
Right.
What is this? I don't know. I'm not even interested in this at all, because maybe if he had called it something else, but I'm just really thrown off by it.
It's just an abstract game, right? I mean, that's all it is. It's just moving around.
Weird racing little game.
Yeah.
This looks way better than that Yeti or Bigfoot one.
I thought you were going to say the Christmas tree game. You can only bring that.
Of course, it's better than the Christmas tree game. That's not an argument. No, I mean the Yeti one or the Bigfoot one, whatever it's Sasquatch. That's it.
Finding
Squatchy
Sasquatch.
one. That one's kind of a take that-ish sort of game.
Right.
This looks a bit like that, but this clearly has more development, better artwork.
Sure. Actually, no, I thought the Yeti one, I don't know, this artwork feels like they're checking boxes, and I mean like, I'm talking about checking boxes in archetypes, like thief, fighter, athlete. I'm like, what are you doing? What is this? It's like you went to a bunch of role-playing books and flipped through them and grabbed random rolls.
Right, like, why are all these people together in a pet cemetery?
And why can't they have names?
Right. I don't know.
I don't know. I like the look, though. I like the artwork a lot.
I think the artwork is, in and of itself, it's good artwork. I just don't think that there's anything that's appealing about the game. So
yeah, it's not called.
You guys are haters. You guys are absolute haters.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. Philosophia Floating World. Now
forget this game. I hate it.
This here is a simultaneous deck builder.
Yeah.
It's a sequel to, I guess, Philosophia, their first one.
Kind of, sorta. Yeah, from what I can tell, it's kind of, sorta. Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about this one. Like, I like a lot of the look of this game, but I also feel like the function of this game is going to get lost in the look of it, if that makes sense.
What is the function? Because I couldn't figure it out. I watched the video, and I was unsure as to what the game was doing. And I agree, it looked like a lot of artwork. It was just a lot of artwork, a lot of beautiful artwork, in fact.
Right.
Just not necessarily artwork I would put in a game. It looked like it obscured any semblance of sort of usability that might have been there at one point. I'm confused by what this is. I really am. I'm not sure what's going on. Look at that. Look at all that. How busy that is. It looks nice. You get rid of all that garbage on top and frame it.
Right.
Yeah, I suspect this is the game I will probably like, but not be happy with the graphic design. That's how I like deck building. Simultaneous deck building sounds good.
That's kind of like the way I feel about Roy. I like him. I'm just not happy with the graphic design.
Right. Yeah, this is one.
What is going on?
This is one that I'm also kind of on the fence with. I think I'm intrigued by it, but I'm also concerned that this is going to have that kind of Kickstarter bloat thing that we've talked about a lot. I wonder if it's been, kind of honed down, and they've maybe I kind of feel like the kitchen sink has been thrown at this game, and that worries me a little bit. Although there are parts of it that are appealing, so I don't know.
There's no spook juice.
No spook juice, though. There's a distinct lack of spook juice.
Well, let's wait and see what the final product is. That's basically what we're going to have to wait for here. And it's obviously attracted a lot of people. 75 is not anything to cry about here.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
All right, a very beautiful game now. This one looks really stunning, and it's raised 100,000. Is Flourish. This one, of course, is building off the fact that the last game from these designers was Everdell.
Correct.
And also, right now, the living greenery, butterfly, birds, forest theme is hot. It's the new zombies.
Also, this is a very aggressively priced game. That's the way I would put it. To me, this looks like they could have probably charged quite a bit more than $39 and had so I think this is, they're really trying to get people maybe that would be on the fence, but like, hey, it's $39, I'm going to take a shot,
I love these cards.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would put those up as pictures on the wall. That artist, I don't know who the artist is who did those flowers.
They have a few. They have a handful of artists. Yeah.
I don't care about all this 3D stuff because that looks like it's pain to put together. Mm-hmm. But I'm real big on the art.
Yeah, no, it looks very light. I think it's just basically a drafting game, and it looks to be on the lighter end of those drafting games. But hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, plenty of light drafting games are very popular, Sushi Go, etc. I think this one has the theme and the art that's going to set it apart. I'm with you, Tom, in that I wonder, especially since almost all of those 3D elements are part of a quote-unquote expansion. I wonder, is that even necessary? Is that really part of the game, or is that put in to make the game look to be bigger than it is? Maybe it's really just a deck of cards, essentially, and everything else is fluff. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is, if I'm not mistaken, I think it has a grid element to those cards as well. Is that not right? Thought I
for
saw
scoring,
that.
I think, yeah.
Hopefully it's different. I hope it's not. I hope it's very different from Arboretum, because I'm not a particularly big fan of that.
No, Arboretum, the scoring bothered me.
Haters. All right. Tomorrow dies today.
Today?
Well, yeah, but that's okay, because you don't have to worry about it. If tomorrow dies today, we still have today.
Gone. Tomorrow dies today.
So tell me what's happening here. Is this guy's arms being...
They've exploded.
You become Powder Man. Tomorrow dies today.
This is one of those games that I think I would like the game, but I'm not happy with the graphic design. Especially the... these tokens here. Do not like them.
Well, the thing is, Tom, it's not a big deal that you don't like them because at least there's only 300 of them. So you don't have to worry about that too much.
Yeah, no, I mean, it looks interesting. And
metal minis. Did you see the metal minis?
I do like metal minis sometimes. There's a metal mini in the Reckoners.
Yeah, but that's thematic, though.
That's true.
Why is it thematic? Is he like Metal Man or something?
Yeah, basically.
Steelheart, back off.
Steelheart, yeah.
Don't make fun of his name.
Mm-hmm.
Steelheart is a pretty terrible name, yeah. I realized the other day I was looking at it, I realized this is based on, I knew it was based on books, but I didn't realize it was based on like young adult books.
Oh, you're talking about the Reckoners.
Yeah.
It's the whole series.
Nobody's talking about this anymore. I don't know what I'm still looking at.
Listen, the Reckoners
Tomorrow died, all right?
They're some of my favorite books. Yes, they're written for young adults, but they work well for adults too, and at least some of us read. So,
tomorrow's very rude.
So, it's 6 dozen of one. Anyhow.
All right, touche, sir.
Nice.
Or touche.
Nice.
As I like to say,
I thought the Reckoners had a decent amount of content in it.
Yeah.
When I was looking at this, so the Reckoners is a cooperative game. There's one major bad guy that you're fighting, and then a bunch of smaller bad guys that you fight. Right. Now, they added 2 more major bad guys. It feels like they doubled the content or tripled the content, but that's because they didn't have to add in all the big plastic boards and things that were in the original game.
Sure.
I'm okay with that. I really like the Reckoners. It's hard. I really like it. I'm a little annoyed because that box fits everything in perfectly.
Right. It does. Yeah. It's got game trays.
Looks really cool too. That fact that she's all like water.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I like the.
You read about these characters in the book, Tom?
Yes. That the first game is from the first book. This is the second book. I don't know if it has part of the third book in it or not.
Okay.
Yeah. No. I'm excited about this. I liked the Reckoners. I didn't necessarily know that they were going to be coming out with more content for it. I'm especially excited about having new kind of the big bads, and you know the new locations is all good. It's very, very over the top with the production. You know, every single thing is a game tray, and I'm a big fan of game trays. But even for that, even for someone that loves game trays, this is a lot of game trays. But the dice are beautiful. I think
game trays.
I don't know if that's possible, but I did enjoy the game, so I'm looking forward to this as well.
Notice they don't have stretch goals; they have daily reveals.
Yeah, I've been seeing that more and more, though.
That's cool.
All right. Okay, that's the last of the gaming Kickstarters. So before we jump to our picks of the week, here's our non-gaming Kickstarter. I keep getting emails about this one. It's called the Jabbermask. So there's a lot of masks that are out there, as you might guess. But this one lets you pick the animated thing on it so that you don't have to say anything. You could just have a heart show up on your mask or just the word no, which if Z had one, that's all you would do walk around with, just the word no. It'd just be like, no.
It would alternate between the frowny face and the no.
So it would be back and forth.
Yeah.
Do they have the animated vomiting? Is there an LED vomiting? No, it doesn't look like it. That seems like a waste of opportunity.
Too much work to wear, right?
Yeah. You think?
I like how I have the voice-activated mic, so I'll be like...
Oh, wait a minute. Is there such a thing as a 4A battery? I'm not kidding here. I've never heard of that before.
You've heard
There's a quadruple A battery?
Yeah, you've heard of double A's.
And triple A's.
And triple A's. They have quadruple A's, yeah.
They really do.
In some parts of the world, quintuple A's.
All right, well, you asked for this one here.
Is that a typo or is that legit? Whoa! My mind is blown.
I didn't know these existed either.
Yeah. You've heard about it if you've ever watched the Burger King commercial. A battery.
Idiot.
That's McDonald's, man. That's McDonald's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow. Look, I don't know anything about this mask. You're going to need to give me about a good 2 or 3 hours to get over this battery thing, because I'm
so glad.
Man, my mind is blown.
That's Mike's pick of the week is quadruple A batteries.
Yeah, I just want... Matter of fact, that's a good game. We should just have a stacking of quadruple A batteries.
Ooh.
This looks too silly. Like the voice-activated mic, so I'll be like, mask, put a smile on my face, rather than just doing it.
Yeah, whatever.
You should have this connected to Alexa so that you could tell Alexa what to make your masks do.
No, make
Alexa,
mask.
Yeah.
Make everyone smile in my office. You're all enjoying work today.
This makes me think of like Google Glass, with all the accoutrement on your face, except Google Glass supposedly did a bunch of stuff. This just has a few LEDs on your face, but you got to be wearing a battery strapped to your head and extra cables. No, wearing a mask is uncomfortable enough. No.
I'm wearing this next time we get together.
$60,000. Wow. All right. Interesting.
All righty, let's get back to gaming pick of the week. We'll start with Mike. I'm gonna guess it's.
Yeah, I want to guess.
I think
For
Mike,
you, Mike?
I think Mike is going to be Streets.
Okay.
Let me look
Or
here,
Christmas Trees.
Mike.
One of those two.
I'm looking, Mike. I'm thinking Mike's gonna go with where is it? Come on now. The Monsters on Board. It's one of those two. It has to be.
Okay, now this is very interesting. I'm actually backing 3 things on this that we've covered this week.
So it's both of those and the Reckoners.
Correct. So my pick of the week is actually Monsters on Board. But I'd have been fine with Streets would have been up there. The Reckoners was up there because I'm actually backing all of those. But Monsters on Board is the one that I think I'm most excited to play of the 3. Like, spook juice, baby. More spook juice.
All
and I'm
right.
going to tell you something. If they have not incorporated quadruple A batteries into this game in some way, then I'm taking my pick of the week back. I'm renouncing it. Because it needs to.
What about you, Z?
Oh, it's pretty obvious, isn't it?
The same thing, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Spook juice for the win. Most other things suck. Calm down. I said most. You can still like your game, but yeah, this was pretty obvious. It looks cool. I agree. The dice drafting, the look of everything, it's got a cute theme. It looks well finalized. I'm in.
Yeah.
What about you, Tom?
I've got a guess for Tom. I think it's one of 2 things.
It's Reckoners, right? I mean.
Well, I was thinking either. Yeah, I was thinking either Streets, Reckoners, or Flourish. Those are the 3 I think he'd be most likely to choose.
Oh, he likes to flaunt that he reads, so I'm gonna go with Reckoners.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry that no, actually, the Reckoners was on the
Don't
list,
like reading.
and so was Streets, but it's a 3-way thing here for the Monsters on Board.
Wow, nice.
I really like how this one looks.
Mm-hmm.
I
But
think
there's
it's
no book to read, Tom.
I read 2 chapters
There's a rule
this
book.
morning of a book, you cretin.
Wow, that's just rude.
Yeah, this looks good. This looks good. Look at that. The dice going into the Spookmobile.
And that's all powered by quadruple A batteries.
That's
look
right,
at them move
baby.
around. Look at that.
Yeah.
I know once the cars moved on their own.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
this
the
looks
remote
great.
control.
I love the look of it.
Now, I will say, though, that Streets was a really close second.
Yeah.
I really like Streets. Those are 2 pretty solid stuff. There's some other minor things, but these were the ones that called to me. So there you go.
Yep.
Well, that's it, folks. That is another Crowdsurfing. I hope you enjoyed all those. We'll be back in a week, and if you say you didn't talk about a specific game, it's probably because it's not ending before next week, and we'll talk about some of the bigger projects then. Right. So that's it. Thanks to Mark and Robert. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Thank you.
I'm Mike Delisio. Take care, everybody.